To the stadium course, TPC Scottsdale, Tom Weisskopf and Jay Morris. Rich Lerner alongside.
A luster to this great venue that hosts the PGA Tour event each and every year. The straight one.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up. Miss hit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All the above, maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. Wasn't that hard a shot.
Solid play, heart of the green. And getting ready for the putt. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Trying to get out of here without too many bumps and bruises. This one is for bogey. Well, that's why you build a big lead. You can afford to drop one or two.
Well, it's hard to criticize a player for being sloppy when the lead is that big.
Par 4 second hole, a little bit longer than the first. This one at 442 yards.
Yeah, they've added a new tee, changed the bunkering down the right side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, a hole that bends softly to the left side. The bunkering around this green has changed. Still, it requires a very precise tee shot.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Second shot, good look at the green. This one looks right on point. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. I think we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Frank, what's the strategy here off the tee at the par 5 third?
For the long hitters, they still think that they can reach this par 5 and 2 comfortably with a good tee shot. For the shorter hitters, it really is a thought about where you lay up that second shot to try and leave a good third shot yardage in. Still a good tee shot, though. That hazard down the right side protects against someone who's a little too cavalier off the tee. There's something about a well-hit shot.
Hit a good drive here at the third. Down there, good ways and in the fairway. Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank, so crucial, isn't it, to just choose the right bat, club selection?
Yeah, when you're playing well and you're swinging well, you're going to hit more good shots than normal. But to top that off, if you can choose more good clubs than you normally would, then you will play better.
A bit unfortunate in the bunker, Frank.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what his bunker plays like.
Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the green side bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? Trying to make in the hole and the birdie. Back over now to the fourth. Frank, this would be a good time to get it going. Made some pars to this point, but if you want to win, you have to make birdies.
Rich, I think the thought of winning has to be removed from one's psyche right now. You've just got to worry about what's in front of you. It just looks confused. Forgetting about playing the actual game itself. Winning happens by a series of good shots. Let's get back to the basics of playing golf.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Oh, that hurts. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Good putt. Well, Frank, now at the 5th hole, the par 4, the challenge stiffens just a bit.
Yeah, the longest par 4, obviously in the start of this golf course, around the 470-yard mark. 2 bunkers down the right have been changed to 1, but it's in the perfect position now. Of course, that new tee added to add a little bit of length to this hole. The green still remains.
Frank, this is where a golfer's mind is really tested here after hitting one out of bounds.
Well, on the flip side, though, Rich, you know what you've done wrong. So erase it. Time to put a good swing on it.
This will be the 3rd shot after being penalized for going out of bounds. Now his 4th shot. Good swing, good shot yet again. That was well done, and now a very short putt to get out of here with a bogey.
Well, it could be a lot worse, that's for sure. 5 minutes ago. In this situation, Rich, a bogey's not all that bad. Still has the lead.
Now to the par 4 6th. Decision time, Frank. Driver, or do you go with 3-wood?
A lot of that's going to depend on if there's any breeze. If the breeze is at your back, you can drive it all the way down the right side and take those 2 bunkers down the right completely out of play. This hole's been stiffened up, though. The length hasn't increased, but that bunkering in that choke point. So, the strategy. Do you have the length to get past them? Or, if you have to lay up, it's going to leave a much longer second shot. Ooh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, one of the great moments in tournament history here in Scottsdale. You go back to 1996, the sudden death playoff between Phil Mickelson and Justin Leonard. Mickelson has always been the hero out here because he went to Arizona State.
Yeah, and it still runs through his veins, Rich. It was such an important win for him because to do it in front of people that he considered his home crowd was huge. And then also to do it in a playoff where obviously it's win or lose. So for Mickelson, 1996, NTPC Scottsdale, certainly ring home.
Now to the 2nd par 3 on the front 9. This is the 7th hole.
Yeah, quite a stiff par 3 because of the narrowness in the front. Really favoring a higher shot that's going to land softly, and therefore you can open up that green. As the further back you go, the wider it gets.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole is for birdie. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
So just a formality here. A couple shots over par. Frank, the par 4 8th. This is a good hole.
It is a dog leg to the left. Forces the player to go out the right, and this will play every inch of its yardage, which is over 470 yards. Green's still pretty much the same with that false front, unless there's a flag position in the front. You're really going to have to fly at least 20 yards or so into that green, otherwise that ball's going to run towards the front.
Sitting up in the fairway now, 180 yards away. Had a birdie here yesterday in their close. Great opportunity for another one. Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Wow, that hurt.
It did. Shot gone forever.
Just a couple of feet. Always love to hear the sound of the bottom of the cup. Rounding out the front nine with a par 4 of 453 yards from the back tee. Looks to be straight away here, Frank. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, that bunker, there used to be two bunkers down the right side. There is now one, and also pinches into the fairway, which almost makes this hole look like a faint dogleg line. But really, the best line is still down the left side, so it still actually suits the draw off the tee. Green is slightly elevated and not very deep too, so judging that second shot, getting the right club is essential here at 9.
That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. Getting set now to start one of the most exciting back nines in all of golf on the PGA Tour here at TPC Scottsdale, beginning with the 10th.
If you stand on this green, Rich, and look backwards, you realize how severe this dogleg is. But from the tee side, it's a sharp dogleg to the right. It's actually a layup down the left side, and then a second shot around 150, 160-yard mark.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor.
Rather nice shot.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Locked in on the read and the speed. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Now at the par 4 11th, Frank, I really like this hole.
Well, you might be the only one, Rich, because this is an absolute scorecard wrecker. Water all the way down the left side. There's two bunkers. Don't worry about that. They're not off the tee. They're around the green. They protect the left front and the back. If you think you can barrel out down the right side, then you could find cactus and all sorts of crazy things down the right. And believe me, go down there, more than anything, they'll wreck your scorecard as well. Coming up, formality.
This for another birdie on this hole on the week. Continuing to putt with confidence. Par 3 12 may not be as famous as the par 3 16th, but Frank, you think this may be a tougher and even better hole?
We see more bogeys and double bogeys here on 12 than 16 will ever see, and courtesy of the water behind and to the right of the screen. If you're going to barrel out, find one of those bunkers. A good bunker player obviously can get it up and down, but it's still no snap trying to record your par 3 at 12.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Ooh, good effort right there. Almost made it. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round.
Well, that was a tricky one, but it's in.
Maybe even eagle if you're bold and brave enough, but also, Frank, chance for disaster here?
Well, there is. Water very much in play down the right side. There's a bunker down the left, too. If you finish up in that, there's no way you're going for this par 5 and 2. Then it becomes a little bit of a zigzag mission. The second shot either has to be hit down the right side, just skirting that bunker in the front, or it has to be all carry.
So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait. And at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. And getting ready for the putt. Right off the edge.
Just a fraction softer, then it might have just turned in.
And he makes it for par. At the 14th now, it's a par 4.
And a dogleg left once again. The bunker on the left side's been pushed out to the fairway to really make you think whether or not you can carry that. It's a lengthy second shot because it's going to play a little bit uphill. And this green is well protected on the left side with the 2 bunkers.
Trying not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. And he's made it onto the green. Well done. All right, Frank, now the fun begins. We are teed up at the par 5 15th hole. Plenty to talk about here.
Yeah, the fairway down the left side is anything other than straight. It's more like a shipwreck, the raggedness of it. And that water in play, if you do find one on the fairway, you can sort of always wave across to the people that are walking down the 11th hole. Find the fairway, you can reach this par 5 and 2. A little bit of an island looking green there, bunker on the left, and also another bunker just short right. But a fairway missed here. Well, you can rack up 5, 6, 7. We've seen all sorts of scores here.
Unfortunately, that ball is wet. So the previous shot into the drink. This now the 4th shot. So, Frank, he'll take a drop here.
Yeah, he'll take his medicine, take his penalty shot. The hole's not over yet.
Frank, in golf, as we know, there's short grass and there's long grass. We all want to be in that short grass, but it doesn't always work out that way. So what's the most important element from the shot, from the rough?
You have to be a little bit more conservative first and foremost because you can't guarantee a perfect strike out of the long grass. So therefore you have to look around the greens, maybe short, to the right, to the left, and realize what's involved. And also just give yourself a slightly bigger target.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Getting set now over the putt. That's a bogey, but still in the lead.
We start to see shots in hand really valuable.
Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, what makes this so special is the walk underneath the grandstands. It's the Gladiator coming into the Coliseum.
That's a perfect description, Rich, and that's why this hole is unlike any other hole on the PGA Tour. The atmosphere that the players feel on that tee, they cannot prepare for it, they can't experience anywhere else. This is a once-in-a-lifetime par 3.
And when you look at it from up high with the blimp view, it sort of appears as though they've dropped Fenway Park or Wrigley Field right into the desert. And this is a sellout crowd. I mean, this is 20,000 fans. And there's nothing like it. There's not a single hole in golf that has more fans on it than the 16th here at TPC Scottsdale. They'll take par and move on. 17th hole, Frank, and this one is really set up for maximum excitement.
Well, there's two things that you really think of. How do I play this hole and how is it going to affect the rest of my round? This is the penultimate hole. If you make a mistake here, it'll carry over. It might cost you the tournament. But if you're a hero, it's going to carry forward to 18. This is why 17 is such a big swing hole.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
This is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. Only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Trying to make yet another birdie. He's made it.
Rich, 18 was always considered a long finishing hole.
Not for J.B. Holmes.
Yeah, the water was always in play. And then the day he took it over the left side and carried everything and went on to win, that completely changed the way this golf course played ever since that day.
And it resulted in some of the changes we're seeing now.
Yeah, and evidence the new bunkering down the left side, but it showed us all how much and how strong these guys are, how much they've improved over the years. There's a big green, and they'll use every inch of it.
That is classy.
No chance of going in.
See if we can get something going here. 2 straight birdies.
Virtually no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
Final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there, but it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything. Birdie opportunities, holes that are fought by water, bunkering that's being changed. All in all, it's a great atmosphere with nearly 500,000 people that visit this during the tournament week.
Now, there's a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. Frank, that's just a really good putt right there.
Yeah, that's why you call lag putting. You get outside a certain distance, and really your mind has to be about 2-putting and not trying to be a hero.
Never a bad score on the card. That's par. Teed up here at the par 4 second. Frank, what do players need to look out for off the tee?
This hole has been lengthened in 2014, some 30-plus yards. Bunkering down the right has also changed, making this drive a little bit more important now. You can't just blaze away over the hill. Green also changed with the addition of 2 bunkers on the left side.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
This is a good-looking shot. That one inside of 10 feet, really dialed in. Bogey here yesterday. Now this for birdie. Well read. Now the third hole, it's a par 5, and how does this one set up, Frank?
It's a nice yardage around that 550, 560 yard mark. So a good drive. You can certainly reach the par 5 and 2. Got to flash it across a little bit of a desert there. This green has been completely changed in 2014. And the addition of 1 bunker to that right side. Used to be 2.
That's in the fairway.
Second shot.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
18 feet from the bottom of the cup.
Oh, that was nasty.
That's an outrage right there. I mean, if there's a high commission of golfdom, we need to consult them right now because it's just simply not fair, Frank. It's not.
I think the people above are frowning on the people below.
Here now at the par 3 fourth. Frank, what's the setup here?
Plays a little downhill, so it won't play its full 180 yards. You can perhaps take one club off the decision off the tee. The green, as you can see now, is a little wider than what it was deep. The bunkering, though, is certainly excellent. There's a little top bunker on the right side. One there if you come up a little short. And there's another one on the left side should you pull your tee shot.
Will he try again here today? And it drops for birdie. Frank, this is a demanding driving hole, the par 4 fifth.
Another hole that bends gently to the left. There used to be two bunkers down the right side. It's now one, and it's in the perfect position to make you think about your tee shot. Really, you have to be left with that. The new tee's added a little bit of yardage to it. The green still looks the same as what it once was. Tilt slightly from the left to right. But you can see why a draw is the preferred shot at TPC Scottsdale.
Like to have that one back in the bunker.
Still a chance to get it up and down.
In the green side bunker here, Frank. Nice to go to the beach, but not too often, we hope. I love it with a nice splash out of the bunker and softly and just runs out right next to the hole. Beautiful shot. Good putt. Ready to tee off now at the 6th. This is a dogleg left.
And another hole that's been stiffened by bunkers on both the left and the right side, really giving you the decision on what club to hit. Should you be bold or should you be smart?
Getting some sand in the shoes now. We're a second straight hole. He's in the bunker. Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
His second shot. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now we'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Well, he'll have to get up and down from the bunker to save his par.
Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. That shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact. And he's made the green. This hole is really getting the best of them for bogey once again. Come on, don't do that.
Cruel lip out.
Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey. And drops it in. Now to the second par 3 on the front 9. This is the 7th hole.
Yeah, quite a stiff par 3 because of the narrowness in the front. Really favoring a higher shot that's going to land softly, and therefore you can open up that green. Because the further back you go, the wider it gets. Could have been a lot worse. That finish up too bad.
No, just on the fringe, so he'll still have an opportunity to knock this one in. Gimme. range. That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole.
Even par currently.
Well, that's why you build a big lead. You can afford to drop one or two.
Well, it's hard to criticize a player for being sloppy when the lead is that big.
Frank, the par 4 8th, this is a good hole.
It is a dog leg to the left, forces the player to go at the right, and this will play every inch of its yardage, which is over 470 yards. Green's still pretty much the same with that false front. Unless there's a flag position in the front, you're really going to have to fly at least 20 yards or so into that green. Otherwise, that ball is going to run towards the front.
Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. The problem is turning one mistake into another.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. It's a master class in short game.
Has his par. Finishing out the front side now at the 9th. And Frank, what do you think of this par 4?
Nice way to finish the front 9, Rich. Very thin green, protected by that little splash bunker in the front. Iron players get a real advantage here. One bunker down the right side to be aware of off the tee, though. I doubt anybody could carry that.
Up with the big boys now, Frank.
You saw that previous tee shot go 310. This one's further.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par. It's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
And getting ready for the putt. Well done. Now to the 10th hole. This a sharp dogleg to the right, Frank, a par 4.
A good way to start this second 9. Really, it requires a nice tee shot down the left. There's no real advantage to try and carry it over that bunker, the one that's situated on the corner. So if you respect it and go a little left of that, you're going to have something in the vicinity of 160, 150 yards left.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. Second shot. Good look at the green. That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
All right, so green side bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in. It's no snack, though.
That is a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Just 5 feet left. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
With that. So the double bogey won't hurt too badly as we look at the leaderboard now. Still in a good position. On to the par 4 11th hole. Frank, what's the best play here?
No bunkers really here to worry about, Rich, so you have to pick something in the distance as a good line. Something a little bit away from the water that protects the left side of this fairway. And it's adjacent to the 15th hole, the other par 5 coming home. So a good drive, perhaps with a little bit of cut off the tee. And that should shape up nicely for this long par 4.
This is the second shot at the par 4. settles in, looking to knock it in tight. This is going to be a tough day on the links. I mean, even the Seagulls are walking to work. That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
In this situation, Rich, a bogey's not all that bad. Still has the lead.
12th hole now, looking at 192 yards, par 3.
Won't quite play that distance because that tee shot is considerably downhill. You really have to be cognizant of the wind if it's coming off the left, because it easily brings that water into play down the right should that tee shot just start moving with the wind.
Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3. Oh, and it gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut.
Not
Not too bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane. Well, not going to make par here. He needs this to only give up 1. So after all that, it's a bogey. To the par 5 13th here at TPC Scottsdale. Lots of danger left and right of this tight fairway, Frank.
This hole has really changed over the years. It used to be a split fairway. That no longer exists. That bunker you can see down the left side, which you can't carry, really defines the left side of this hole. Water still in play down the right, and big change here is the bunkering along the left, front, and left side of this green. So you can't just blaze away and comfortably expect to hit 13 and 2 anymore.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. That was not a very good read right there. Locked in on the read and the speed. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
At the 14th now, it's a par 4.
And a dogleg left once again. The bunker on the left side's been pushed out to the fairway to really make you think whether or not you can carry that. It's a lengthy second shot because it's going to play a little bit uphill. And this green is well protected on the left side with the 2 bunkers.
Now, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it.
Now at the par 5 15th, and Frank, there is plenty to catch your eye. There's also quite a bit to catch your ear. You can hear the roars at the par 3 16th. So how do you focus on the task at hand?
Great question, Rich. You know, you realize you're about to enter the stadium part of the golf course. But this is the last par 5 that you're going to play. We've seen eagles here over the years. We've seen many a player hit it in the water off the tee or water short of the green. Certainly one of the tougher tee shots coming in. No bunkers here to worry about, just that huge lake to the left. Find the fairway. You might just find the green.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. That's the eagle coming up. It happens sometimes, Frank. They don't all drop.
No, but you try telling them right now.
That finds the bottom of the cup. We call that a birdie. Frank, the one moment that sort of made the 16th hole what it is today would have to be Tiger's ace in 1997 here at the TPC Scottsdale when it was raining plastic cups.
It was also his reaction, too, and that ushered in the Tiger Woods era that we became associated with, which is the fist pumping, the rowdy spectators. And he was one of the few players that bridged the gap between spectator and golf course. And it still goes on till today. And I think Rory McIlroy probably is the only other player that starts to broach that type of inside and outside atmosphere with golf.
Still to this day, it's the loudest single moment that I can ever remember hearing on a golf course. Bogey here yesterday, chance to better that today.
Well, for such a strong man, a weak putt.
Now I'll have to make this just to avoid making Michael Dublé. Bad news is, Frank, that's a bogey, but the good news, still has the lead.
Can't afford another, though.
Frank, when you get to the 17th hole, we always recall maybe the single most bizarre shot in the history of golf.
Yeah, everybody talks about maybe a hole-in-one at 16, but really 17. And the player was Andrew McGee. It was a good tee shot, don't get me wrong. But Rich needed an assist.
Well, the assist came from Tom Byron. His brother Kurt is a commentator for the Golf Channel. Tom Byron was just minding his own business, standing on the green, sort of leaning on his putter, and you know what happened.
Yeah, the ball hit Tom Byron's putter and then careened into the hole. So, 17. Made famous, a little bit of history with a couple of names to drag up from the post.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Comfortably knocks it in.
To the 18th hole now, and Frank, the original designers stepped in and they made this hole quite a bit more challenging.
Yeah, they certainly have stiffened it up. The longest hitters in the game, the Dustin Johnsons, the Bubba Watsons, the J.B. Holmes, used to take it completely over the lake down the left side where there's just one paltry bunker. Now there's a series of bunkers, almost like the church pews at Oakmont, that are littered down the left side, stopping that attack. You're going to have to respect this hole that much more off the tee. Find the fairway. It's still a short iron in, but this finishing hole is now a proper finishing hole.
Frank, I think that's going in the bunker.
Looks like it.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
That looked like a miss it, Frank.
The line was okay. It was surprising. Maybe wrong club.
Just in the first cut of rough. Not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here. Solid play, heart of the green. What a big spot this is to win the Waste Management Phoenix Open. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. And that wraps up the final round. Just a great performance by our champion today.
Couldn't agree more, Rich. I think this one will have to go down. But all week long.